Terry, the big day has arrived. This is what all of Cavan has been waiting for, the visit of Armagh.
Well, that's true, I suppose, and as I said before, the first round of the championship is everybody geared towards the time of the year. The long evenings, the green grass and the sun on your back.
Looking at the league campaign, it was up and down maybe, but you went into the last round of matches with the possible chance of getting promotion.
Well, that's true, I suppose. We probably had a bad start again. We had a good middle part to it, our graph rose. We had a little bit of blip at the end. Okay, in the last day we were thereabouts, it was common. Down to the last thing, it was a mathematical scenario at that stage, and it didn't work out for us at the end anyway.
Was it a distraction, although successful, the under-21s, but not having them during the league campaign?
Well, I wouldn't use a distraction as the proper word. It was a disadvantage, of course, because there's some very good players and we would have liked to have them. But you know what I mean, in fairness, there was a strategy put in place 3 years ago or 4 years or at this stage now that the under-21s would stay with their own grade. And you know what I mean, I was part of that strategy, so it would be wrong for me to come out now and say that it should have been done any bit different.
But it was the right thing to do given the success that they've had.
Correct, it was the right thing, and that's where we have to be with Cavan football. This is a long-term experiment, and we have to temper our expectations in the beginning, and we have to build to the future.
They're back in now. How are they gelling?
Very, very good. Well, in fairness, I mean, the 3 or 4 of them played in the championship last year, so it was not as if they're coming back into a squad where they're not known. They come back in. We did a bit of an away training night, and the lads bonded in very well.
Now, you had a challenge match recently against Speed where you practically used 2 teams, so you have huge talent in abundance.
We have, and in fairness, a very competitive squad, and the squad has worked very hard. And you know, I mean, where other years we might have had more challenge matches, we have had less because our players within the group have worked and been so competitive in-house training. We felt that was the road to go down.
Armagh will present a huge challenge. They are a team who know how to win championships. They've had success, cross-midland players on board. It's a difficult assignment for you.
Well, of course it is, you know what I mean, but you know what I mean, we feel in the end of the day it's a 50-50 game. Anytime we go out, if we are fit to perform to the levels where we did against Monaghan in the National League, we'll be thereabouts.
Are you happy with the commitment that you're getting from the players? Because there seems to be a great urgency about them this year.
Yes, we couldn't fault any of the players. We've been 100%, and I know people would use that as a cliche, they say that every year, but I would have to say we would have players come to us looking for information as to when are we training again, what was my training performance like, what can I work on, that type of scenario, and we find that totally different and refreshing from other years.
That's obviously because they like what's happening and they can see perhaps a light possibly at the end of the tunnel.
Well, I suppose that's it. I see their graph probably rising, you know what I mean, from probably struggling in the National League maybe for 2 or 3 years in a row to, as you said, almost getting to the high end of promotion and didn't get there. You know, with a reasonably good run of the Mechanic Cup, and as always, then we got in the championship after a hard working race for the last 3 to 4 weeks.
You come in to management with a plan in place, long-term plan. It seems to be progressing nicely for you.
Well, it is in that, you know what I mean, it is a long-term plan, and that's what we have to look to. And you know what I mean, and some of the people that we put the plan in place with, as I did say at the time, it may not be part of the plan, but success does come from Cavan. Hopefully we are, but we do reckon that Cavan will be very successful in the next 3 to 4 to 5 years down the road, and that is the long-term plan.
And I think people are beginning to realise now that just because you're successful at underage doesn't mean that you get a handful or a hatful of players that are good enough to play senior football.
Well, no, because it's a totally different thing. As I said, when you're a 21-year-old playing against 21, you're at equal. When you bring a 21-year-old into play with a 29-year-old, you're at unequal in the physical stakes and the amount of experience you've gained. And some players will, only 1% or 2% will just pop in and compete right away, but the others will learn to compete.
A point will do. You want to be in the next round of the championship.
That's what it is. It's all about.
I wish you will.
Thank you.